Bird nerds, how are you? I'm still here in Townsville. We're marooned weather-wise, and if you wonder who we is, I'm travelling as the volunteer ground crew for Millie Formby on her Wing Threads adventure, flying a microlight around Australia, and with the gusty weather, Millie hasn't been able to take off, and we haven't been able to do some of the other little tasks that we needed to do. So we're here at the moment, but we're looking to get off to Atherton or Cairns as soon as the winds are favourable. So here I'm on the balcony of the salubrious camp kitchen at the Rose Bay Holiday Park, which I can thoroughly recommend as a good place to stay. Just outside the front gate is a beach and a park, and at this time of year the beach is swimmable. Stingers are not really a problem. Look straight out to Magnetic Island, and in the park down the street there's some varied honey eaters, but we're going to talk about some of the birds that Millie and I have been seeing, and we'll have a look at some of the eBird lists. And I don't know, I want to share a few of my thoughts about what the differences are really with the urban birds. Townsville's a pretty big city, but it's very, very country. And as a result, the birds are really significantly different. But the Indian miners are starting to show up here. They're not in great numbers, but they're certainly here. Rock doves are here. House sparrows are here. Haven't seen any starlings. But yeah, the birds are all here. Now, for those of you in the audience live, hello, thank you. Nice to be with you again. Look forward to this while we're away. It's fun, breaking the sort of travel routine. Tell me please, if you have been in far north Queensland, FNQ. Let me know when, and let me know what your thoughts were. If you are watching on Twitter, or look, I haven't even put LinkedIn on. Let me put LinkedIn on. Sorry, LinkedIn. I can't edit the schedule, so there we are. Sorry about that, LinkedIn. Hello, LinkedIn, if you're joining us. If you're on Twitter, I cannot see your tweets and respond quickly or easily. Let me just see whether I can. I do have Twitter open, but I need to jump back and forward. So if you have access to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, that would be the best option for comments. So, who's been to far north Queensland? When was it? What did you think? And were you on a family holiday, or were you birding? I just got a Twitter notification pop up. I always love when Mike Carlton pops up. Short but sweet. This F-wit is too much even for spell check. Yes. Anyway, the notifications are always interesting when it's Mike Carlton. You never know what you're going to get. What else? Let's start with North Queensland. We went to, only yesterday. I better get the list up so I can share it with you. Millie and I went to Tyto, which is at Ingham, the Tyto wetlands. We did a walk in the morning and a walk in the afternoon. So let me start with the morning list and get that up. 55 species in the morning, which was pretty fab. Let's get this up and I'll sort of talk through it. Okay. And it took us 3 hours to do the first walk that we did. 3.77 kilometres. It was a good hefty walk. Here we go. Add to stream. There we are. Let's full stream it. Let's full screen it. There we are. Okay. So let me talk through it, and if you've got something to say or your questions, pop them in. We saw both of the pygmy geese, but predominantly green pygmy geese. Black duck, grey teal, Australasian grebe, spotted dove. Now that was it's just sort of in the entry right near the car park. Peaceful doves, bar-shouldered doves, brush cuckoo. That was a beauty. There were some swiftlets flying around overhead. Now they're really distinctive, and they weren't mixing with the other swallows and martins that we saw. Oh, by the way, am I loud enough for you? Just let me know that too. Let me know that. Now, what was shaping as our nemesis bird was the white-browed crake. All the places that we'd been told to go and find it in Townsville, we dipped out. And people said, oh, it's really, really easy, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, we got it at Tydo at a couple of spots. And when they were present, they were just out walking around. They weren't hiding. They were on the fringe of the reeds. It was really nice. Let's see, what else did we see that was... You'd expect all the egrets. There weren't that many... Yeah, there weren't that many raptors. We did see a black-shouldered kite, which was nice. Oh, piles and piles of forest kingfishers, and they really grow on you. They're a really cool bird. Now, here's a ripper. A lifer for Millie and a lifer for me. We got the lovely fairy wren. We just saw a pair. We only got a good look at two of them, but we suspect that there was more, and they were in quite dense scrub in concert with the red-backed fairy wrens. We got one yellow spotted honeyeater, and again, that was at the entry as we were heading in. So that got us off to a good start. Yellow honeyeaters, they were very prevalent. White-gaped honeyeater. We saw a Maclays, which was nice. We'd seen the Maclays up at Paluma with Norm from Birdlife Townsville. Good on you, Norm. Thanks for taking us around. Fairy Gerigines, they were quite. I think there were far more of them than we saw. But we did get another lifer, Bowers shrike thrush, and we got a good look at a few of them. So we were able to step through, and the striations on the breast compared to the rufous shrike thrush were really prominent. We could see the hooked bill, and you could see the lures clearly. And yeah, we separated them out. But the rufous striped thrush are there too, and they seem... Look, we can't be sure, but I got the feeling that the rufous striped thrush is far more vocal. Where we saw the Bowers was actually in Pandanus, whereas the rufous shrike thrushes that we've seen have been in various different vegetation types. Rufous Whistler. Oh, this was a big thrill too. Yellow Oriole, that was the first one for me. And they are big compared to what I sort of expected. So that was a good one. Let's go down the list. What else do we see? One common minor. So that was really the highlights for the morning walk. So 55 species on the morning walk. Now, if I go back, let's take that off full screen, and I'll go back. Okay, we've got some comments too. Let me let's deal with those first. Okay. Hello, Vicky. How you going? Nice to see you again. Yes, and look. It's okay. People can call me Gant. They can call me mate. They can call me Hey You. That's fine. Hopefully you will be back, Stormy. That will be cool. Okay, Vicky. Question for you: have you been in North Queensland, or are you from North Queensland? Let us know. I'm interested in what people have seen and heard and done when they've been up in this part of the town, part of the world. Okay, so that was our morning walk. Let's have a look at the afternoon walk. This one. Da, da, da. So we got 55 on the morning, we got 54 in the afternoon. A couple were different. Let's do the full screens unless I've got some comments. Okay, full screen this one. We're back. All right. So, plumed whistling ducks. Now, this was a group flying overhead that was wanting to land, but what was going on at in the locality of the wetlands at Ingham on the weekend was the Italian community festival, and that was big. But there was also a rugby league game going on an oval, and there was a fair crowd there, maybe probably about 300 people, I guess, there. And then there were quite a few people at the information centre at Taito and doing the walk. So there were lots of people walking around, and this flock of doves, of whistling ducks, plume whistling ducks, were trying to come into land, and they kept having to change their minds. And yeah, they were overhead for a while, flying around, obviously frustrated with all of us. Let's have a look. What was different? We saw all the egrets except the cattle egret there. Black kite, white-bellied sea eagle was really nice. Blue-winged kookaburra, that was nice. More forest kingfishers. Sulphur-crested cockatoo flying overhead. But here we go. We got the noisy pitter. That had been another one of our nemesis birds. Now, we both saw it. I saw it fly into this thicket, but then I didn't see it on the ground. But Millie was, we were about 30 metres apart. I was on one side of this thicket. Millie was sort of looking into the middle of it, and she saw it, called me over, and we both got a good look at it. But then it hid behind these groups of sort of clump of narrow stems, and we just could not get a photo. And it moved a little way out of shot, and we kept looking. It was really clear. We could see the head, and we could see the wings, and we could see the red. There was no doubt what it was, but we just couldn't locate it again. So we did a bit of playback, and Millie was telling me that in her experience that the playback doesn't work for them, that they sort of shut down when they hear it, that they just chuck a tantrum and just don't respond. But anyway, we did the playback, and it responded straight away, but we could not find it. We could not see it to get a photo. So it's here on the eBird list. We only saw one, but copious notes, no photo. What else did we get? Oh, we got a group of brown-backed honeyeaters as we were leaving. That was really... they're pretty feisty. That was good to get close to them again. Now, we got the black-faced cuckoo shrike and the white-bellied cuckoo shrike and a varied triller. So that was nice. We saw a Bowers shrike thrush again in a similar location and habitat. A Rufus shrike thrush again. But we got both the orioles. And to me, the yellow oriole looks bigger than the olive-backed oriole. I'm just impressed with the size of the yellow oriole. White-breasted wood swallows. Oh, northern fantail. Now, Millie got a really good shot of the northern fantail here. I might click this open. Now, there we are. We've managed to see it in a few spots, but that's the best photo that we've seen. We also saw... Oh, look, we've got a count here too of 10 willy wagtails. There were heaps more than 10. But we also got Rufus fantail. We've only counted one, but I think there were a pair. But the Willy Wagtail, Rufus Fantail, and Grey Fantails were all in this same large thicket of bushes and chasing each other around. That was fun. Spangled Drongo. Now we saw something with the Spangled Drongo that I hadn't seen before. They were hawking a triller, a varied triller female that had just got a big bug or a moth or something. Anyway, the Drongo stole that, but then it started chasing some black-faced cuckoo shrikes around. I'd never seen that before. Fun to watch, but yeah. Anyway, what else do we get? White-browed robin. So apart from Paluma, we've seen it up there. Mistletoe birds calling from a very, very high exposed branch, two different places. Crimson finches, red-browed finches. So that was well worth it. 54 species. I think when we added up the two lists, I think it was 73. Yeah, I think it was 73 for the day. So that was great. Okay, so Vicky, I said before, is anyone from North Queensland? I've been to North Queensland. Vicky knows from the Hawkesbury. Okay, I probably should have remembered that. All right, now I'm going to go, because it's been a week since we've been together, isn't it? So let's have a look at what else we did. There's quite a few, isn't there? Okay, Paluma. Oh, I haven't been through the Paluma list, have I, with you all? So I think we did Fairfield. Yes, we've done those. So let's go through Paluma. We'll start with the morning. Oh, this was great. Okay. This and Paluma is north of Townsville. So first we went to Little Crystal Creek. 6 species. So that wasn't terribly amazing, was it? So let's go to the next one. Am I sharing? Let me see. Am I sharing? Yes, I am. Let's go to full screen. Let's go back here. Sorry. Okay, then we went to McClellan's Lookout at Paluma. We saw a bunch of satin bowerbirds high up in the canopy that were keeping us on our toes. We weren't sure what they were for quite a while, but we sorted them out. Then after that lookout, we went to the Paluma Range National Park Paluma Dam. And there we got a ripper. We got the spotted catbird, and we got, later on we got a really good look at one, but we could hear it up in the canopy, and it was moving around. Pale yellow robin, that was a corker, and the grey-headed robin. So these aren't big numbers. It was raining too. It was wet. Then from the dam we went to a private residence, and this was fun because we put some bananas out for the honey eaters, and they came in. This is like a well-known spot for the bird group and for people. So we just sat on the balcony. Brush turkey came in, fantail cuckoo we could hear, rainbow lorikeet overhead. But have a look at this. Spotted catbird just popped up. There we were. He just sat there watching us for, I don't know, half an hour or so. So that's Millie's photo. Then a satin bowerbird flew in. While all the honey eaters were feeding, satin bowerbird flew in, and this was really close to us. Like I could have almost reached out and touched him. Yeah, full shining blue. Pinched a bit of banana and nicked off. But we got the treat of honey eaters. We got the eastern spinebill, and eastern spinebills are a bit of a big deal up here. Not like in Melbourne and a lot of the southeast, where they're the ho-hum bird of the garden. But no, they're a big deal up here. But we got Lewins coming to the feeder. So again, Millie's pictures. So there's the Lewins. And then This one was a beauty. The bridled honey eater. They are stunning. Really liked that. But then check out this one, Maclay's honey eater. That was fun. Um, and all of these honey eaters, actually, the the Lewins, the bridled, and the Maclays all basically came and checked us out right on the railing. Let me oh, let me un let me undo this so we can. So you can see me now. They were like this far away. They were hopping around my feet. They were on the railing right in front of us. It was fantastical. Um, so yeah, we heard a pod carol and we heard Eastern Yellow Robin. Okay, what's the next checklist? That was Wednesday. What did we do? Thursday, we went to. Was it Thursday? We went to Paluma Dam, Bassie and Thrush. No, I think this is still the same day. This should be Thursday. Bassie and Thrush. There's Millie's photo. Don't think there's much doubt about what that was. Good job, Millie, on that one. Then Thursday, Town Common, we went back. 26 species. What was interesting on this one? I guess it was the honey eaters again. Yellow honey eater, brown-backed honey eater, brown honey eater. We got the scaly-breasted Moonia or the spice finch, magpie larks. Now, what did that do? 47 minutes, we got 26 species. How good's that, hey? We just went to the one bird hide. Now, this wasn't where we saw the raptors, was it? No, maybe that's the next one. Let's see. Is that the morning? No, Friday. Oh, then we went to the Palmedum on Friday, and the Palmedum is where I worked all those years ago at the end of the summer of 1994-95. Can't believe the difference there. What did we see there? Laughing Kookaburra, which is not that usual up here. The helmeted frybird, which I call the nobbies, the hornbilled or hornies. What else was great? And Millie's favourite, the scaly-breasted Munia. We did get Muscovy ducks. Friday, man, what happened on Saturday? I think, Friday. There we are, the barking owls. We've got barking owls here, resident in the holiday park here. So that was cool. And then Saturday, Taito. There we are. So we've been through that. Bar-shouldered doves was nice. Let's have a look. We went through those. We went through that. And something else that we haven't put on the list. A few things we didn't put on the list. Saw a square-tailed kite on the drive up to Taito. Peregrine falcon. We saw a hobby, saw a swamp harrier hassling a Brahminy kite. That was fun. Martin, fig birds. Yes, we might. We're hoping that we'll get the fig bird just a little bit further north, the yellow strain. Let's see. All right, so that's basically we've done the birds, right? But I want to talk about a few things that I've seen have been quite different in the way things are done. Now, this is only a couple of locations, so I can't really talk in general terms, but they get the signage. The signage is pretty good. The interpretive signage that we've seen at Paluma, at Taito, around the Common here in Townsville, down on the foreshore in Townsville, it's pretty good. The council, and obviously I would say in concert with the state government, communicate their conservation message pretty well. If you're from Melbourne, you'll be used to seeing the dark green painted, carved out signs with no parking or the name of a track pointing somewhere, Joe Blow's track or Joe Blow's lookout or something. But these are metal printed with quite a bit of information, which I seem to recall used to be quite common in Victoria, but over the years those things have disappeared. The conservation messages and the birds to look out for have been fairly well well illustrated, and just some simple messages about where to look and what to look for. I mentioned this last week. I think they obviously, being the tropics, trees grow faster here, but there seems to have been, where there's been development, where blocks have obviously been redeveloped, the big blocks that had the big Queenslanders have then been subdivided. Just from looking around, and we've driven around a lot of Townsville now, so I've seen a lot of it now. Suburbs and back streets, the rat runs that Google Maps takes you on. There's a lot of mature vegetation has been retained when the developments have been done, and that's encouraged the native birds, I think, and discouraged the invaders. Fig birds and great bower birds are really common. The friar birds are really common. I don't know if you can hear the honey eaters, the browns, and they're everywhere. It's great. Now I can see some new people have jumped into the stream. Hello, welcome. I should note too, we're going to do a dawn chorus maybe this week. Millie and I will talk about what the movements might be. We might still be stuck here, or the microlight still might be stuck down here. But Millie's got to do some things in Cairns next week. She's got appointments, so we might actually drive up, spend a day or two there, and then come back before Millie gets to fly. Or we might be packing up and having to drive one leg. The winds are just too high, even though they're not what from a sailor's point of view or something would be. They're light winds, but they're too heavy for the microlight to take off safely. So that was just a bit of housekeeping. Just check the birdemergency.com/live. Depending on what we're doing and what the access to the Wi-Fi is like, I might just get to update that page and maybe just do a few little quick socials. I'll let you know. But if you check out the birdemergency.com/live page, that will have the next dawn chorus and the next members only. And there will be a members only this week. I would like to say it will be Wednesday. I would like to say the dawn chorus will be Wednesday as well. I just aren't sure. I'm just not sure whether we will be doing something maintenance-y on Wednesday. It's weather dependent. If we can get out and do something and the winds are light, we will go and do it. So bear with me with the chopping and changing, but I'll keep you informed. So tell me, I can't believe that you guys in the stream now haven't been to North Queensland. So let's talk about that. Martin, you're almost in North Queensland, so tell me, have you been right up the top? And what were your impressions of what's different? I'll tell you the other thing I noticed too. Now we've only been up as far as Ingham so far, where they start talking about it being the tropics, the wet tropics and the forests and whatnot. But it's still, the forest to me seems quite dry. Now I don't know if that's a periodic um, thing. Oh, there's going to be some noise here. The plumbers have just turned up because the water is off in the camp kitchen. So I guess that's what they're here to do, to fix that. Um, oh, the barking owls hang out right near the camp kitchen here on one side, but on the other side of the building, just behind me, there's a great bowerbird bower, and it's just comprised of junk, plastic and all trinkets and rubbish. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame, but there's plenty of the bowerbirds here in this park, and we had them in the last park as well. Big birds everywhere. Um, I want to tell you another thing I saw this morning too. Stan, if you're here on King Island, and being an old Could Have Been Champions fan, I always want to say Stan on Stradbroke Island. Uh, Stan, if you're here, peaceful doves everywhere. Now, of course, I wasn't really that familiar with it, and it surprises me. I don't know why. I had never uh, noticed this beautiful little bird much before, but they're everywhere here. They're like the black kite. They're just everywhere. Uh, but apart from the vol call that you hear all the time, and that Stan you recorded, and I had no idea what it was. This morning I was watching one while I was lying in my swag, watching a group of them up above me. I was watching one calling, and then it started to do this little, what I would call a cooing growl. Really weird sound, but it was definitely the peaceful dove. So um, I'll try and record it. I'll try and record it tomorrow. They don't seem to do it all day. It seems to only be when they're getting active and uh, meeting up in the morning. So I'll try and record it for tomorrow. Um, okay, where was I going? Now this is this is your part of the time. Who's here? Oh, hello, Naomi. Nice to see you too. Um, Naomi, you've been up this far, haven't you? Yeah, here we are. Naomi's just jumped in. Cans cooked down Kakadu. Yeah. Um, yes, I will agree. The humidity. It's not too oppressive at this time of the year. Uh, I do remember when I was here in Townsville years and years ago. It was it was summer, and it was quite oppressive, but it's really nice here. The caravan parks tell me that, or they told Millie this, that people book up to 3 years out at this for this time of the year, and they book a site for like 3 months. So they just come up here, escape the winter, and it's pretty good. Yeah. Uh, there we go, Martin. Yeah, that. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, Martin? So you've heard that cooey growl, that growl coo. Um, it it's not as loud as the vol au vent. It's so you think it might be coming from further afield, or that it's coming from a smaller bird. But yeah, really, really cool. So I'm glad that you've validated my thoughts there, Martin. Good. And Naomi, yeah, every time in summer, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's hot. It's hot here in summer. Um, what else would I like to tell you? I think I told you that we went and saw flyways, didn't I? So flyways, I hope you get a chance to see it. Yeah, I'm sure you did, because you mentioned you want to see it, Naomi. Just trying to think if there's any other. I still haven't seen a pale-headed rosella, so that's turning out to be the nemesis bird for the trip. Um, the spotted catbird was a great get. that was really cool. The yellow oriole is much bigger than I expected it to be. Um, I showed you the wedgies, didn't I? From that. So, look, the Town Common is a fantastic place to go, and Tyto Wetlands, fantastic place to go up here. Um, I would say definitely do it. Um, okay, over to you guys. Questions, comments. What do you? Anything you want me to address? Anything you want to tell me about your bird watching recently? Um, uh, just trying to think. We saw great finches. There was a brown bird we couldn't identify in the reeds. We just could not get a good look at it. Uh, Blue-winged kookaburras laughing like maniacs. The first time we've heard the big group of them laughing since we've been up here today. Hopefully we'll get another dose of that tomorrow morning. They're real characters. And the amount of lapwings here is amazing. Okay, Martin. Yeah. Well, I haven't spied one rosella on the roadside or anything, which is what I expected. But we're seeing crimsons. Certainly Paluma, we saw crimsons. That was good. Um, Red-winged parrots, a f- we caught a glimpse of a few. I saw some on the drive up from uh, Mackay to Townsville. I saw some on the side of the road flying along, but we did see a couple near on the way to Paluma. So we both saw a couple on that one. Um, so yeah, I never thought red-winged parrots were really plentiful, but I was just expecting the pale-headed rosella to be like the eastern rosella down down south, exactly down south. Naomi, yeah, the peaceful dove is just it's just super common up here. But again, it's really easy to miss unless you're someone attuned to these little birds that are on the sides of paths, on road verges and whatnot. They're fantastic. They're just so little compared to the spotted dove or any of the other. If you're used to seeing bronze wings or anything like that, peaceful doves are tiny. Bar-shouldered doves are more spotted dove size. They're still a little bit smaller, but they're nowhere near as plentiful as the peaceful dove in our experience so far. Um, um, there's plenty of honey eaters that I'm sure we haven't really been able to get a good look at too. Um, I mean, I'm looking out at a tree now, and it's just alive with a bunch of lorikeets who've just come in. Oh, the other thing we didn't put um, on our list, but I've got no doubt we saw a couple of little lorikeets at the palmetto, flying overhead at the palmetto. If you get a chance and you come to Townsville, you've got to walk around the palmetto. It's so different. I just cannot believe the density of the vegetation from when I was here yet. All right, Naomi, good question. Have we seen a cassowary yet? No. I I think when we do our next bird watching trip, which is going to be a little bit further north, will be with a chance to see a cassowary. Haven't really seen any evidence of them yet either. I just think they are sometimes seen around Paluma, and we've been up Paluma and Ingham, but we just haven't been lucky. I think you got to be lucky too. I mean, everyone was telling us Oh yeah, pitters. You'll see them. They just cross the paths. Well, we didn't see them anywhere until Tidal wetlands, and I've got to say, Tidal wetlands is just great. Go there, go there, go there, go there. Um, at this time of the year, it's not the peak time for all the passage migrants either. So it would be astounding. I reckon you'd get 100, 120 species if you were up there for a weekend of either a few months from now, or at the other end of the year. Martin, yes, it would be fantastic to get a photo of a red goshawk. It would be fantastic just to see a red goshawk, let alone necessarily get a photo of one. Maybe when we get over the top. Actually, I'll just while I'm here, I'll reach over for my Bible. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, and I've opened it up on there. We're going to be looking for letterwing kites, of course. Haven't seen a bazaar. Millie has, but I've dipped out on them so far. So what are we doing? Red goshawk. There we are. Red goshawk. Um, yeah, maybe when we get over the top, we might catch a red goshawk and maybe a black-breasted buzzard. Um, so we've caught a glimpse of the square-tailed kite, so that was a good get. It certainly would be amazing to see a red goshawk. Yeah, I, look, so much of this is just luck. Oh, the other thing we saw at Paluma, we didn't get a tick or anything because we didn't see the bird, but we did see the golden bowerbird bower. They're big, they're waist height, maybe chest height, built around a tree, or in the middle of two small trees. So that was good. Oh, and the other thing that Norm from Birdlife Townsville, the amazing volunteer group, of course, Birdlife. Um, he showed us an ant nest that the white-tailed or buff-breasted or paradise kingfisher, whatever they're called these days, nest in. And what amazed me was the hole was tiny. Like they're actually not much bigger than what we expect to see with a sacred kingfisher or a redback kingfisher. They got the longer tails, a bit longer bills. They're a little bit larger, but not much larger. So, tell me if you guys thought this. I've never seen one, right? But in the bird books of my youth, they were always depicted big on the page, and I just thought they must be, kind of kookaburra size. Nah, they're sacred kingfisher size. It's amazing. So yeah, now there was another thing I was going to mention. Um, we've seen some redback kingfishers on our trip. Oh yes, at here at the Townsville Common again. We went to the one of the bird hides, the Jacana bird hide, I think it was called. And while we were looking at waterfowl, and that was where we saw the swamp harrier have a crack at a Brahminy kite, drive it a bit away from where it was hanging out. We heard this splashing really close to us, and I thought it might have been turtles or even a cormorant diving or grebes diving just out of our view because of the way the hide was. Anyway, look down to our left. There's a azure kingfisher hunting and diving from a little perch, just leaning into the water, but a matter of 4 meters, 5 meters at the outside from us. So that was great. That well worth constructing that bird hide just for that. So really, really, really cool. Um, some new people popping into the stream. Hi, I'm Grant. I'm a bird nerd. Bird Nerd on the road. Oh, hang on. How do I get this? This way. Yeah, there we are. Bird Nerd on the road. Because normally I'm in Melbourne and it's chilly and cold and everything. It's all happening. All right. Hello, Stan. I was late as well, Stan, so there we go. Stan, I mentioned you before. Peaceful doves, mate, everywhere, everywhere up here. I cannot believe that I could not tell you that call months ago. Just astounding, astounding, astounding. I'm loving them. I'm loving the bar-shouldered doves as well. Naomi, yes, you've shared my experience. Yes. Okay, Azure Kingfisher, I think everyone, when the first time they see them, just goes, "What? Is that bird real? Or is that just a piece of jewellery?" What did is that a piece of opal that can fly? Yeah, no, they're pretty amazing. Black-shouldered kites. I grew up with black-shouldered kites, so I never really was surprised about how small they are. But I do remember that they were always shown to be quite large, like maybe little eagle size or something like that in the bird books. So yes, I'll go with that. Martin, yeah, it's great. There were bird hides at Tyto, really well maintained paths at the Tyto wetlands at Ingham as well. The paths are less maintained at the common, but they don't need to be here in Townsville so much. It's a lot flatter, so there's not so much walking around. Although it's pretty flat at Tyto too, I've got to say. It's pretty flat. Paluma, the tracks were good. Did we have any hides at Paluma? No, but there were lots of good facilities for people camping and using the lake up there. Yeah, good fireplaces and all that kind of stuff, the toilet blocks and things. So all of that's been good. What else? Stan. Okay, Stan, just send it. Do you want to email it? If you want to email it to me, send it to Grant at the Bird Emergency. And if you're uploading it, if you're going to upload it to YouTube, just email me the link and I'll check it out. We're going to try and do a dawn chorus this week. I will consult with Millie later today and then I'll update the birdemergency.com/live page, and that's when I'll do the work out when we're going to do the dawn chorus, and I'll record the next one. As in, I'll record what's going on, and we'll talk about that. So yeah, send that to me, and I will like to try and work out what you're hearing. One of the things I've enjoyed about being in the caravan parks is talking to people. They're talking to us about what we're doing. Obviously, everyone is amazed by what Millie's doing. But people are really interested in the podcast. Oh, I told you all, didn't I, that I got interviewed by the Townsville ABC to talk about the Bird Emergency podcast. That was freaky. I did notice a little bump in the listenership too, and I uploaded a few things to. We're going to be here for a little while. The internet's good, so I'll get the Substack stuff going. And what you're going to get on Substack, if you want to check it out, is if you're already a podcast listener, I'm putting old episodes in different orders up. Episodes that I wish I had maybe produced once more people found the show. So that's to get a bit of a new audience there. But I'm going to do a bit of musing. I'm going to think a bit about things like the interpretive signage and maintenance and how I'm not seeing rubbish on the sides of the roads like I do in Victoria, and I just wonder how much of it has got to do with the way we ruined our public workforce in the, what was it, 90s, 80s, 90s, that neoliberalism push to privatise everything and contract everything really destroyed a lot of public amenity in Victoria, and we've never recovered back from it. Uh, didn't happen to the same extent up here, and I think we can see that. There are people cleaning the roadsides and maintaining verges and getting rid of dumped cars and, you know, bags of rubbish and whatnot. Obviously, people can afford to dump their rubbish in the local tip rather than chucking it all in the on the sides of the roads. That's one of the things I really notice up here is how clean the highways and the secondary roads, because we're not just being on highways, we're going out looking for things. Oh, we have dipped on the black-throated finch so far. That's another one we've gone out on a couple of expeditions looking for. Same with the plum-headed finch. What did I notice this morning too? Oh, white-breasted wood swallows make a little call that sounds like a zebra finch. I did see zebra finches at the last caravan park, but not here. Okay, Naomi. Yes, it's good that the ABC viewers have been treated to my wisdom. I don't know about Adopt a Road up here. I'm not seeing signs or anything by it. I just think that in Queensland they didn't do the stupid stuff that they did in Victoria and New South Wales. So consequently, they don't need to adopt a road. There's people who are employed to bloody maintain them and keep them clean and mow verges and all that kind of stuff. Not everything's been contracted out to someone who's also got to worry about maintaining the hospital car park and all the other things that the small businesses, maintenance businesses do. You know. Yeah. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. I'm not sure, but that's a real striking difference. There we are, plum heads. Okay, you got them in Urella. That's on the coast, isn't it? I think Urella. Can't remember. Excuse me while I haven't finished my coffee. That's good. So let's see. So Stan, tell us, have you been to North Queensland? Since you were late, you get to tell me that. And if so, what were your impressions, your last impressions? And is there any Kangaroo Island news that we need to know about? I can tell you that when the Air Force are doing exercises here, it's very loud. And it's amazing that the birds just habituated to it. We'd seen and heard red-tailed cockatoos down on the foreshore. I also heard them and saw a small group of 4 this morning here. So that's nice. Martin, plum-headed finches in Gladstone, but not common. Tell me what habitats you're seeing them in. I would like to know that. Do you get crimson finches down at Gladstone? I always thought crimson finches were like really rare, but they're pretty common certainly around Townsville. I've seen them in a lot of places. They were common at Tato, common at the town common here. Hello, gee, they're all coming in. How are you? Gee, YouTube, it's all happening. Hello, Miss Mo. Hang on, Miss Mo, is that Monique? Is that Monique? Is that you coming in a new disguise? Or Miss Mo, are you a new watcher uh, new to the bird emergency. Welcome, anyway. Ever. Um, okay, Martin, to you first. Okay, creekbank habitat with grasses or reeds? Um, just grasses. Oh, I've got to share the photo. Uh, I haven't got the photo. Millie and I saw as soon as we walked into Tyto, just as soon as we got into the gate of the reserve, we saw a red-browed finch, a male, I'm assuming, holding a long stem of paspalum, so we could see the carousel sort of whirligig seed head, holding it, displaying it. It was silhouetted. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. Um, so that was a bit of a thrill. Okay. Whit Sundays. Okay, so we're a little bit further north maybe than where you are. Tell us about the Birdlife forestry story, Stan. Give us a bit of a it didn't make news up here. It wasn't in the Townsville Bulletin didn't rip it off like they do with everything else. So I can't tell you what. Just tell us what the forestry story was about. Oh, geez, hey. How good is this? Eh? Look at where I am. In the middle of winter, or not the middle of winter. We're in winter. 20. Let me think. I think it was about 27 degrees. Should I check? I will check. I'm just going to get to the bomb. Oh, it's only 28.3 degrees at the moment. Yeah. Okay, red-browed finches. Yeah, they're cool. Millie got the good silhouette shot. I've messed up the settings on my camera, and I'm actually, after I finish this is what I've got to do, is get it working again. The autofocus just won't stop hunting, and it's going all over the place. I don't know what I did, but I did something wrong. Okay, so you, Martin, are the plummies ever? Are the plummies in like road verges or anything like that, or is it thicker, a thicker habitat? Um, Tell us more about that, Miss Mo. Tell us more. Nestling with paralysed legs. Um, yeah, what kind of bird do you know? Uh, ah, Stan, what's the company that's doing the blue gum clearing? Do you know? Uh, are they are they totally private, or are they a partnership with one of the government enterprises? Because you had the Lib Nats in for a number of years down there. So what are they doing in forestry down there now? Yeah, and Miss Mo, tell us about that nestling if you know what kind of bird it may have been. What did you do? That's bird with paralysed legs. Um, you hear that, Stan? Oh, it's not going to call again. But the peaceful doves are around calling. Um, yes, Naomi. It's when you're trying to get a really quick shot for a record shot, you just want to fire off. You want to get a sequence of 10 or so shots, and hopefully one of them will be good enough. But I was trying to take some shots of jacanas the other day, and it was hunting. It was putting the little block of focus points on all the leaves, on all the lily leaves. Oh, it was annoying. So anyway, that's what I've got a whole bunch of YouTube things and the Panasonic guides actually open, ready to go. So that'll be what we do shortly. Uh, all right, now I'm going to be counting down now for nicking off. So, housekeeping. We're going to be doing Dawn Chorus, so please record your winter Dawn Chorus down there. I'll record the very, very noisy cacophony that happens here in the morning, and I'll probably do it while I'm lying back in my swag, and you'll get to see my bedhead. Um, okay, stand with the answers. All the timber is privately owned, so it's all blue gum. Jeez, take it back to pasture. So, so it's 18,000 hectares. Stan, I'm setting you the maths homework. 18,000 hectares would be what percentage of the treed vegetation do you think on KI? Like, how significant is it to lose 18,000 hectares in the overall scheme of things? Here we are. I can just see Stan's running over to his desk to get the calculator, and he's opening up the local maps, having a quick look, estimating that maybe 15% of the island is treed. If that's how many is that? I don't know. I just pulled those numbers out of my bum too, by the way, so don't anyone think that that's how much treed land is left on KI. I don't know. Stan might tell us. But I am going to count down. We're going to be out of here in a few minutes. I'm going to fix my camera, and then I'm going to get ready for recording Dawn Chorus, and then I'll let you all know when the next stream will be. I'm not sure. I'll catch up with Holly too on the email and see when Holly is available. Maybe next week, maybe the week after. I will let you know. And of course, it all depends on the wind. Oh, on the wind. So, yeah, Stan, if you've got those numbers up to date, just let us know. Here we are. Here we go. 44,478. Great. Here we go. This has got us all going. 20% of the treed land. Okay. Naomi's got some facts and figures. KI is 440,000 hectares. Okay. More than a third. So a third, what's that, 140, 150. Okay. It's pretty significant. Pretty significant, even if it is a monoculture. There we go. You can all do the maths. You're all better at it than me. Great. Okay. Look at that. We got some discussion going. I'm out of exciting news to tell you. I'm a bit out of the loop. I haven't been watching the news or stuff, so I don't really know what's going on. I did see some people getting annoyed at Tanya Plibersek again. So, Penny Sharp in New South Wales, apparently doing the wrong thing with koalas. But I won't get onto that until I've read up more and more. But I think we can safely say that offset is still a dirty word. There we are. I knew you would have got your calculator out, Stan. Yes, I think that's cool. All right, gang. Now, Miss Mo, I'm assuming you're not our friend Monique on the other platforms. Jumped into YouTube. Nice to meet you. Nice to have you aboard. Martin, Stan, Naomi. Who have I missed out? Vicky, hello. Vicky again. That's nice to see you. Martin, yeah, I've gone back to that, but it's still something else that I changed while I was messing around. It's just not making it work. So I've gone back to factory settings, and now I'm going through and adding in the recommended from the photographers that I know and love about the what settings for wildlife and bird photography. So we'll get that going. Oh, Naomi went birding yesterday. Wow, was Royal Spoonbill a lifer? That's a good one. We've been they're more common up here than the yellow-billed spoonbill. Would you believe? Um, Martin, yes, I did see this story. That Macquarie Island, that Tanya Plibersek had announced that the conservation zone around the island had tripled. But I did also hear that she has increased the number of, was it the number of firms that can fish there? Or was it just that the existing firms take more take more and more often. So I think there was a trade-off there. So there's always the greenwash message. Oh, look, we've tripled the conservation area, but at the same time, we're allowing more fishing. Uh, anyway, yes, let's not be too critical though. We'll take a win where we can get it. Um, and yes, yes, Stormy, you've still got the koala killers in power. It's terrible, isn't it? That they, yeah, yeah. All right, Miss Mo, let us know where are you from? Which part of the world? And be as detailed or as vague as you like. Just let us know where you're watching us from. Um, yeah, Martin, I think it was the think from what I heard this morning, it was the existing companies can continue, but they have a slightly increased take that they can take. Fair compromise if something if it keeps it out of court is my thing. So yeah, okay. Miss Mo's in New York City. Okay, are you an owl fan, Miss Mo? Have you? Are you a fan of Flacco, the Central Park owl? I am. It's one of my favourites on Twitter. Let us know. Miss Mo, what we're talking about here, Naomi's mentioning Toondah. There's some wetlands here in Brisbane, which is the capital of the northeastern state called Queensland. Here, Brisbane is the capital city. It's on Moreton Bay. There are some beautiful mudflats there, which are Ramsar listed at a site known as Toondah Harbour, and there is a large development, 3,600 units proposed for that, and that's before both the federal and state governments are making a decision on whether or not to preserve the Ramsar wetland, which of course we are internationally obliged to do. Um, uh, Pale Mail, is that about a particular owl in New York City? Miss Mo, you'll have to fill us in. We're all Australians, I think, at the moment in here. I don't think we've got any of our UK folk on at the moment. So yeah, let us know. Tell us what that's about. Stan, let's go. Koalas are a complex issue, yes, and that's a similar issue elsewhere in the rest of the country, Stan, because often the populations that we have been translocated from somewhere else in the past. Um, yeah, yeah. But because we've lost so many koalas all over the rest of the country, places like French Island and Kangaroo Island are reservoir populations um, for the rest of the country, even though they may not have been endemic to the site. Very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Okay, let's say red-tailed hawk. Okay, red-tailed hawk. They're impressive. I do like seeing when people are photographing the red-tailed hawk. Um, yeah, really different suite of birds you've got, obviously. Um, but I do like all the photos that people are taking of like the orioles and the buntings and the warblers and of course Flacco in Central Park. Um, Gee, Stan, um, yeah, that's a question that I think people like you and I ask, and then people. It's just look. I have the same feelings about people who work in law firms, that lawyers working in really bad law firms, but they always say, "Well, so if I don't do it, someone else will. If I don't cut the forest down, someone else will." Um, Stormy, powerful owl. Okay, good, 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 good. Um, While we're speaking owls, I mentioned that we've got the barking owls here in the park that we hear morning and night. But did I tell you that we saw the rufous owls? Did I tell you that in Anderson Park? That was really cool. Um, yes, koalas and kangaroos. We have lots of them. Oh, there's the lorikeets flying close by. Did you hear that? Question for you, Stan, from Naomi. Are they looking to relocate the koalas from? I guess the question is uh, from the plantations that are being logged. Um, I saw that. Isn't that the New South Wales government plan now to relocate koalas rather than preserve habitat? It's bloody insane. Anyway, that's my view as a non biologist with any koala experience, but it just seems to me that it's probably the second or third best solution. Anyway, Stan, I'll leave time for that. Yes, I'll go back to this comment too, Stan. I would say that it's worth checking out the Conversation and the Guardian in the last couple of days for some good conservation stories. Some stuff about greenwashing certainly was very, very, very cool. Um, Miss Mo, are you a committed bird nerd? Are you a twitcher, or are you maintaining your own list? Are you out birding and doing e-bird lists in different places? Love to know. Uh, yeah, yeah. That's unfortunately, Naomi. This when it comes to forestry and logging, they're all captured. If it's not by the unions with the Labor Party, it's the processors and the manufacturers and the builders with the libs and the property developers. They're all captured. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible state of affairs. And to think that the things that we know are the not the optimal solutions are the first things they go every time. Uh, Bloody stupid. All right, now I'm really going to wind it up. I'm really going to go. Thanks for everyone who's come in quite late. Oh, we're pumping on pumping on every platform today, and not even one stupid comment coming in. I love it. That's why it's fun getting together with you. Um, Sorry for my subpar lighting. If I turned around the other way, I probably would look less like I'm peering. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit ordinary, isn't it? Okay, Stan's got something in here. Okay, they're not supposed to interfere with koalas and they're supposed to cut around them. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Unless there's observers there, unless there's people there seeing what they do, how would we ever know? Stan, did South Australia put in uh, laws in the last few years to make sure that you're not allowed to go in, like all the Victorian, New South Wales, Tasmanian governments have done to make it really difficult to monitor what's going on? Did they do that in South Australia as well? You know. Because of course, you know, you're always going to trust the loggers, aren't you? We might just wait and Stan can tell me that, and then I think we might bail out. Good. Miss Mo is. It's always good to do wildlife rehab. Yeah. Are you in a unit or in what do you call them, an apartment there, Miss Mo, or are you in a house? Um, we all live in different styles of dwellings all over the world. Be interesting to know. Um, I guess you have lots of warblers coming through, passage migrants through your place, and all those amazing sparrows that you have in North America. Yeah. Ah, yes, Martin. Are they still doing the? Is that the mining that you've been checking out? Um, that's that land use issue that you were looking at a week or two back. Naomi told us you'd found a lot out. We might maybe Martin send me some info, and maybe we'll do an in depth on what's going on around Gladstone. Yeah, that might be interesting. Okay. Um, all right. Yeah, of course, Stan. So it's private land, so private plantations. Um, uh, I'm glad you got the drone overhead. Um, all right, South Australia has new anti-protest laws. Okay, good because we're all a strong democracy, right? Um, uh, okay. Yep. Once they get the trees down, that's right. They'll be mining, and then there's no chance of rehabilitation for probably 30, 40 years. Okay, that'll be the story we always hear. Miss May, you're in an apartment near Central Park. Fantastic. You got the rock doves and the mourning doves. Good. I quite like the mourning dove. Um, yeah. Yeah, you keep flying your drone, Stan. I agree with Naomi. You keep flying your drone on them. Here we go. Oh my God, 50,000. Well, have you got the 2 year jail term as well with the protesters, Stan? I think we all live in the fascist state of corporate capture. Um, yeah. All right. I think in that healthy discussion going on, I think that's a good place to pull the pin. Uh, uh, Thanks all you regulars. It's always good to have the riot squad on the case, Miss Mo. Because you're new, the riot squad is the regular chatters, and they are so called because a group of kookaburras is called a riot. The collective noun is a riot. Um, I did have a riot of blue-winged kookaburras going on here this morning, and I hope I'll get a good recording of it to play for the Dawn Chorus episode tomorrow. Um, Stormy, yes. Santos, blah. I think they support whoever. Safe travels. Thank you, Stan. Yes, it's fun. I th- I'm anticipating that the next show will be from a different caravan park in Townsville, and but still in Townsville. But who knows? We may be stopping off somewhere in maybe at Atherton or in Cairns. Thanks, Miss Mo. Nice to meet you. I hope you'll be back. Thebirdemergency.com/live is where you can see when the next live streams are coming up. Always posting there. If you're on Twitter, you obviously found the Bird Emergency on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, at Bird Emergency, and that's where I am most frequently posting any updates or if I'm about to go live or something, and we all try to do Facebook. Um, Good on you. See you, Naomi. See you, Stormy. See you, Martin. And see you, Vicky. Yes, you go back to work. I'm going to go and fix my camera. Thanks, everyone, for being with us. I'm Grant. I'm a bird nerd. I'm on the road. This has been Monday with me. Filling in for Holly, who you can see wasn't able to be here today. Hopefully, Holly will be back next week or the week after. Catch her. Go out and do something positive and fun for the birds.